Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I don't think we have a hard time determining who's a coward and who's a brave one if we just analyze a behavior, situation and the entities involved. I mean, it's pretty clear that if the situation is desperate and people fail to act, those were not brave ones. Of course, if the circumstance required action and you didn't do anything, you were not very courageous. You were afraid, which it happens. It happened to me. I'm pretty sure it happened to you. It will probably happen to me in the future. It probably happened to you as well. So I don't want to be too critical about it. I'm just saying that sometimes we have to call actions as they are. Act of a courageous act or an act of cowardice. In this case, we talk about Poland, and Poland applies this kind of whistling way. I will act, but not first. So that means I will act only someone else or some others will act first. Well, you might be courageous, but you wait for other people to be more courageous than you. On the other hand, there's the risk that maybe nobody acts. Then what's going on? So let's say you walk down the street with some friends and you see over there a man, a big man, beating a tiny woman. Okay, now I don't know what happened, but that should not occur, correct? So at least you should try to stop the beating. Now you don't know if she killed his mom or not, or he killed his kid or not, but that's not about that. It's about the guy harms the girl. Now obviously the right thing to do is to intervene. Now there's different ways to intervene. You can say something, and walk over there. You can not say anything and just walk and grab them, put them to the side, and risk to be beaten up or to cause harm. Or you can call the police and stay away, and so on. Or all this, call the police, say something. That's different ways. But you're not a courageous guy if you don't say anything and just say, hey guys, what do you think we should do? Well, I'm not going to do anything. If someone else jumps in, I will help, okay? But I'm not going to go first. You know what I mean? You know it's the right thing to get in, but you're afraid to do it. It's fine, as I said. Courage is based on, it's a show of being afraid, but doing it. If you're not afraid and you do it, that's not courage. It could be a different kind of bravery because you've been in the circumstance many times. Like, for instance, I tell you directly. For some people, there's no problem, stress fighting, getting in a physical fight. Why? Because they did it so many times. For others, just the thought of getting involved in a physical fight will be very stressful. So then the person who is not afraid because is used to fighting all the time, is that courageous intervening? Yes, he is. He didn't feel any he didn't have any feelings of being scared or afraid or something like that. He just goes in. Now obviously your adrenaline can go high, but you keep it under control. If you have that, if you even have that. And I'll tell you this, when I used to fight, the first fight was always you were afraid, you were uneasy. After the first fight, next one was like, I'm talking to you right now. The third one, like the same way. The more you did it, the easier it was. I'm doing a real fight, not how do you call it, sparring. Now, this article comes from the New Voice of Ukraine from January 7th, 2023. Poland wants broader coalition before giving Leopard tanks to Ukraine. Now you are free to interpret that however you want. Poland does not plan to transfer to transfer Leopard 2 tanks to Ukraine without there being a broader coalition of nations willing to supply heavy armor. Polish Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki said during a press conference on January 7th. According to Morawiecki, negotiations on the transfer of Western tanks to Ukraine are indeed underway, and I'm quoting, together with ... Polish President Andrzej Duda, we are negotiating to create a broader coalition of countries that could transfer this heavy modern equipment. That's all I can say now. Now, you might say, well, probably, and I think that's a fact, Poland needs approval from Germany, for instance, from the masters, the big masters, United States, and so on. They didn't say about any approval. They said a coalition. That tells me, let's get all together, okay? Don't let me... And I wonder why. I think Poland used its slingshot, put a lot of shit on it, and it sent it towards Russia since a long time ago. That I don't think it needs, to hide behind others. I think Russia knows exactly who's who and what's what. Do you think that if Poland will just send unilaterally tanks to Ukraine, Russia will say, Poland, that's a surprise, I didn't expect that. I don't think that would be the case. I would be like, say what? Some more shit on me? That's what's probably is going to happen. But anyway, and I don't understand when these guys are trying to build this kind of coalition when they're already in. They can't pedal back. They're already in, sinking in the shit, still going down. It's still warm, so they're still pedaling, sliding. The gravity is doing its job. And these guys are like, let's build a coalition. Psst, you're already, smeared in it. You already stink from Moscow. They can smell you. The Polish Prime Minister added that a few weeks ago, he discussed the issue with German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, and perhaps in the coming days we will be able to learn more about this. We, I'm quoting, as Poland, are not going to transfer these tanks now without a broader coalition. Promise, he said. We as Poland are not going to transfer these tanks now without a broader coalition. Why? Do you think the Russians are going to send some zircon on you? Or, the Satan II or something? Earlier, U.S. newspaper, the Wall Street Journal, reported that Poland has begun to consider, I'm going to tell you about that, to consider Ukraine's request for the transfer of Leopard tanks. Now, I don't know if you've ever been in a situation like this. I was when I was much, much younger. I think I'm going to do this, hoping that other people say, yeah, me too. I did that because I was afraid to act. So he's like, hey, I think I'm going to go over there and check that out, huh? I think I'm going to go right now. And if nobody goes, you just change the subject. Well, I'm pretty sure that's what Poland does right now. We're thinking of sending some Leopard to Ukraine. Nobody says anything. Well, I guess I'm waiting for some coalition here. Hello? I mean, that's how I see it. Like weasel, everybody's like, should I say something? Stay down, don't say anything. Until the big boss, the real guy, the lion, walks in and say, go ahead, Poland. I always wanted and said I will do it. Let's do it. Go. I'm going to go first. Oh my God, it's like a comedy, man. It's like a comedy. At least in my head. What the hell? So anyway, this is with these people. We find out that the French president gives the AMX-10RC armored vehicle, which is classified as a wheeled tank or light tank. We know that one. I know that the Americans are going to give the Bradleys, right? And the Patriot. Yes, and then we know that Olaf Scholz said he's going to give the Ukrainians what? Marden or whatever that's called. The armored vehicles. So they're there. They are there. Finland said they will give Leopard 2 if Germans allows. Again. I think I'm going to do this. Oh, shit. Anyway, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.